Hello, friends. A city is going to be built in Saudi Arabia which looks like a part of a science fiction film. A futuristic city which is designed in a 170 kilometers long line. This line is 500 meters tall, which is taller than the Eiffel Tower. It is only 200 meters wide, and on both sides of it, there are huge mirror panels on the exterior. It will have greenery and a lot of futuristic technologies. According to some estimates, the total cost of making it can reach up to $1 trillion. Saudi Arabia claims that the city can be ready by 2045. Is it really possible? What are the benefits and disadvantages of this design? And what impact will such a mega project have on the rest of the world? Come, let's try to find out in this video. A typical desert climate is seen in Saudi Arabia, where the temperature can reach up to 45 degrees Celsius during the day and gets very cold at night. But apart from this, Saudi is a very diverse country geographically. Here you will find savannas, mountains and volcanic fields too. In fact, there are more than 2,000 dormant volcanoes in Saudi Arabia. Many of them are active volcanoes. Economically, Saudi is the largest economy in the Middle East and the 18th largest in the world. But it is true that this economy is mostly dependent on oil. Their major export is petroleum, and Saudi Arabia is the world's largest exporter of petroleum. But because the entire world wants to end its dependence on oil, Saudi is very interested in diversifying its economy. Like many other countries in this region, such as the United Arab Emirates, which tried a lot to end their dependence on oil. This is the reason why Dubai has been made such a big tourism hub. Similarly, Saudi has introduced its plan, Saudi Vision 2030. One part of this Saudi Vision 2030 plan is to build the Neom smart city. Saudi's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman dedicated a large part of the country towards the development of this Neom smart city. Neom is not a single smart city. In fact, this name should be used for a region. There will be many cities, resorts and other developments in this region. The total area of Neom will be around 26,500 square kilometers, and its location will be in the northwestern part of Saudi Arabia and in the north of the Red Sea. There is a geographical reason behind choosing this area. The climate here is comparatively moderate. In Saudi Arabia, the climate in the middle of the desert is hotter. Here, it will be near the Red Sea. The word Neom is very interesting in itself. It is made up of neo plus m. Neo is a prefix that comes from ancient Greek. It basically means new. And m here represents two things. One is the name of the prince himself, Mohammed bin Salman. So, m comes from Muhammad. And the second is an Arabic word, mustaqbal. The first letter of this is also m, and this word means future. They want to make an ideal city that shows us a new future. According to the developers, Neom will have 10 different projects which are called 10 different regions. The details of 4 of these 10 regions have already been announced. The first is the OXAGON, an octagon-shaped floating port. It will be the next generation industrial center of Neom. The second is TROJENA, which is the first major outdoor skiing destination of the Arabian Peninsula. It is planned to be inaugurated in 2026, in 3 years from now. Not only that, this area has already won the bid to host the Asian Winter Games in 2029. This will be located on one of the highest mountain ranges in Saudi Arabia, where the temperature actually goes down to 0 degrees Celsius in the winter. But still, it is said that the snow used here will be man-made. Third is Sindalah, a luxury resort complex located outside the city coast. Around 2,400 people can be hosted here. This will be a luxury island spread over 840,000 square meters with a lot of things to do. It will be the first part of the Neom project to be open to the public, as its opening date was announced to be next year, in 2024. Then comes our fourth and most unbelievable project, the line. The line was announced on the 10th of January 2021, and a lot of people had doubts on whether or not it would be built. At this point in time, its construction has already started. Even so, there were considerable doubts about whether the technologies to make it happen exists or not. The most important thing about this project is its design, which is a 170 kilometers long line. This whole city will be situated between two 500-meter tall skyscrapers. These buildings will be linear and placed parallelly in line with each other and will have mirrors on the external facade. The idea in itself is not new. Similar ideas were proposed in the 1800s and mid-1900s. Although no one had the resources or the money to implement this idea. This city is an example of a concept of the 1960s, which is called arcology. Arcology is made up of the words architecture and ecology. This is a field where architecture is used in such a way that can build densely populated areas in cities in the most efficient way. A city that can cause the least damage to its surrounding environment. This is the reason behind the concept of the line. So that the surrounding natural landscape has to bear the least bit of damage. Some real-life examples inspired by the principles of arcology are the research stations in Antarctica. Such research stations where thousands of people can live and work. And they are insulated from the outside environment. So that no damage is done to the external environment. And it is completely self-sufficient. The line project will also try to do the same. Because its width will be only 200 meters and length 170 kilometers. According to its developers, 9 million people will live here. The population of New York City. Living in 1/20th the size of the area of New York City. So the overall footprint becomes very small. Multiple layers have been planned inside the city so that people can move in 3 dimensions, up, down, and sideways. This new concept has been named zero-gravity urbanism. On top of that, their developers claim that Neom will be powered with 100% renewable energy. Solar, wind, and hydrogen-based power generation will be used. In this, for transportation, there will be no roads or cars. Instead, there will be places for people to walk, parks and green spaces. Since it is a 170 kilometers long line, high-speed transportation will be used to connect the line from end to end. The interior will be designed in a way that everything will be available within a 5-minute walking distance. The climate will also be controlled to maintain a consistent climate even through the scorching heat outside. And because this line will go from one end to the Red Sea, it is also considered to have great potential for trading because 13% of the world's trade actually happens through the Suez Canal. On top of that, a Neom Bay airport will be built near it, whose location will be such that 40% of the world and everything in it will be only 6 hours away from it. This is because Saudi Arabia's location makes it a central point of Europe, Asia, and Africa. The developers also claim that artificial intelligence will be seamlessly integrated into the line. In both personal and commercial life. Systems will be made to gather data, analyze it and cater to everyone's personal needs. Wherever you go in this smart city, you will be tracked and based on that, ads or products will be sold to you. This is a big danger point of such futuristic cities. By the way, this is already done to some extent when you use the internet. The websites you visit track you. It understands your likes and dislikes. What are you buying online? What are you searching for? What are you searching for on Google? It analyzes what you are interested in. So that you are shown ads of the product you showed interest in. This kind of tracking can be even more dangerous if it reaches the next level. Now understand the dark side of the line project. Why this may never be possible. The first and biggest challenge in completing this line project will be money. This project is being financed by Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Private Investment Fund, known as the Public Investment Fund. It is basically a fund created by the government of Saudi Arabia, which has a lot of money. The fund is estimated to have $620 billion worth of money. But there are 2 problems here. First, the money in this fund depends heavily on the Saudi economy, which is based on oil. The price of oil can fluctuate in the market. So, if money to build such a big project is coming out of such a fund, then it is very volatile. We don't know how much money will depreciate in the future. The initial plan was to complete Neom by 2030 and $500 billion was allocated for it. Some reports say that it cannot be completed by 2050 and because of that, the costs will increase even more. For this reason, it has been estimated that the cost of this project can be as much as $1 trillion. If a project like Line is to be made a reality, then many technologies will need to be used that do not really exist yet. For example, their transportation system. Their developers said that there will be a high-speed transportation network. They did not say whether there will be a train or a metro. But they said that in this 170 kilometers line, this system will take only 20 minutes to travel from one end to the other end. This means that the speed of its travel will be more than 500 kilometers per hour. And today, there is no technology with which we can travel at such high speeds. For now, it seems that they have been installed only for aesthetics. To make the project look futuristic and beautiful, the mirrors are planned to be installed outside. Its practical use has not been announced yet. Similarly, there are many things in this project that have never been done before. No one knows whether it will be practically possible or not. The third point is about the environment. Although they have claimed that it will have minimal impact on the environment, that's why it is being made in a straight line. But how will it impact animal movement by putting a mirror on the exterior? It can also be very dangerous for migratory birds. Along with that, making a continuous wall without any space to cross from one side to the other will interfere a lot with the crossing of land animals. On top of that, many people have criticized this project, which is projected as being very sustainable with zero carbon emissions. Because of its environmental impact, Neom was criticized in October 2022 when it won hosting rights for the Asian Winter Games in 2029. What is the point of hosting the Winter Games in a country without a natural place for skiing? Everything will need to be created in an artificial environment. How much impact will it have on energy and local water resources? Then comes the architectural problems. Undoubtedly, the design of the line will save a lot of space. But in many ways, this will increase the inefficiency too. If the whole city is living in a straight line, and there is only one transportation route to go from one place to another, all 9 million people who will live in this city will be dependent on this one route. This means that if there is a problem anywhere in this entire 170 kilometers route, then the entire city's transport will be delayed. Such a single point of failure can be very dangerous for such a design. And finally, the last problem is the people. If all these different challenges are overcome, if a way is found to deal with all these problems, the last question that will arise here is, will people want to live here? Imagine spending 24 hours in a city where you are totally cut off from the outside environment. You are living in an artificial building. If you want to go out and enjoy the open air, you won't find anything. As soon as you step out and turn around, the only thing you can see will be a mirror. And when you are inside, you will be constantly surveilled by the government. You will be tracked constantly. This sounds like a less habitable city and more like a science fiction dystopia. In my opinion, this dream project of the line will likely remain a dream even in the future. Why am I saying this? Because before this, Saudi Arabia had also tried to build the world's tallest building. Its construction had also started. 1/3 of the building was built, but it was later abandoned. What is your opinion? Would you like to live in such a city? Write in the comments below. If you liked this video, check out our other videos. You will definitely like that too. Thank you very much.